Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Although you are
So much for being here, and I'm hoping 5 minutes is enough. Great, it's a really careful notes in telling you what to do. We have continued our internal dialogue with Kosova's Serbian citizens through meetings with Serbian NGOs in Kosovo, together with deputy prime ministers and ministers, and my visits to the Serbian communities. I remember in particular meeting one young Gorani man from Dragaš, his father of two, with a wife who has a talent for handcrafts and who wants to start her own business but can't find funding. Her husband is educated and speaks good English but cannot find a job. When we met in my office, I felt a powerful obligation to be able to tell him that there were options for him and his wife and other young couples in Kosovo. What we hear consistently from the community members we meet with is just how critical the need for employment is. And so we have chosen as the theme for today's the ways that active labor market measures can help Kosovo's communities. We believe this is important because, as well as economic growth, jobs bring family stability and they offer dignity. Increased employment and increased employability is central to the pillars of our national plan, both for sustainable economic development and for equitable human development. The government has taken some additional practical steps to bring about positive change in this area and some options for that young couple from Dragaš, and we've seen how non-majority communities are benefiting. I will share some of these with you now and hope that later on we can hear from your experience about the most effective ways we can bring about positive change in the employment of Kosovo's minorities. We have offered opportunities to increase employability, especially for our non-majority communities, such as the reactivization of the Commission for the Verification of Diplomas for Serbian-speaking Kosovan citizens, which enables them to be employed in Kosovo's institutions. Also, the recent government decision to establish a public international business college in Mitrovica, which has been supported by the European Union, offers a unique higher education opportunity for all communities. Our code project offers IT training for young people in an initiative run by the Ministry of Economy, together with the World Bank, which has included young people from non-majority communities, and as the program expands, it will include many more. We have provided 500 scholarships for high school students from the Roma, Ashkali, and Egyptian community, and an additional of 100 scholarships for students from these communities at public universities who can become teachers in the future. The Office for Community Affairs is also offering 5 scholarships this year for students from non-majority communities to study at the Balkanistics program within the University of Pristina. This is an excellent way to gain the skills and qualifications that would enable work as one of the Albanian Serbian translators surely needed. However, we know that sometimes having the right skills is not enough to get a job. Our government has been tackling corruption and nepotism at every level, and we want to open doors to those who have not traditionally been represented in the labor market as much as they should have. In June last year, we created an interinstitutional team to promote Roma, Ashkali, and Egyptian employment, led by Director Habib Hayreddini, and with representation from my cabinet from across relevant ministries and the civil society. Members of this team have met with Kosovo's hospitals' human resources directors, the University of Pristina, the police, the employment agency, and with many others. They have made additional outreach both directly and via community NGOs to spread awareness about internships, recruitment drives, and bursaries, including through our new twice-monthly bulletin of opportunities shared in Albanian, Serbian, Turkish, and Roma. They have created a database of members of the Roma, Ashkali, and Egyptian communities who have completed training and higher education programs to facilitate more targeted employment programs in the future.
Concentrate on the things that we want to achieve for the future initiatives that could bring a lot of benefits to the minorities in this case. First, I would like to thank all the job that was done, especially EU liaison office, SIPA project, and IOM and DRC of cooperating with us for a very long time. We do have some, I would say, significant results in this direction, especially with the RRK from 1 to 5. We had something beneficiaries around 1,200, and we are expecting from the RRK 6 to have 150, 160 more. So we are finding the path, but I have to tell you, I have so many more ideas, or we have so many more needs that I will try to reflect you just in the way that we, for example, the last, or better say first actual public call that we had just recently, that has finished in somewhere in the beginning of the March. We had 3,500, around 3,500 applications. That is the highest, probably the highest of this kind of number of applicants. Unfortunately, based on our current budget, we probably are not able to fulfill somewhere between 12 and 15% of all of those applications. So, probably we're gonna be seeing each other much often, if you allow me, of course. But one more thing that I think it's mainly important. So far in our strategy for the communities in return, we had a so-called stabilization of communities. And of course, we do understand that a lot of families are in need for this kind of stabilization, building their houses, facilitation, infrastructure, packages of food. But I wanted to change it to something else. I want to go level up. So we are actually approving, actually it's going to be in the next couple of days, sorry, the new strategy that will actually be referring to stabilization and development.
I'm going to mention just some of the projects that we are implementing in the Ministry of Local Administration. And I have to say that I am also happy that we have now a Minister of Community in return, because many of the work that was foreseen to be done by that ministry in the first 2 years, we have been obliged as government also to provide through our ministry. That's why we have also some of the projects that in this year are in our ministry, but for sure in the next years we can combine them together, the Ministry of Communities in return. Immediately after we took the ministry, we created a program focusing the local communities in municipalities, because there were significant areas where communities lived in municipalities that the infrastructure was less developed than the others. So in the first 2 years as ministry, we were financing up to 4.5 million euro of infrastructures together with municipalities in the areas that the communities lived. This was a significant support for the municipalities, because they had also the opportunity to take some more, positions, financing also with the budget of the municipality of those projects, because there was a co-financement from the government. So just to remind, 4.5 million in the first 2 years through the Ministry of Local Governance were invested in the areas where communities live in municipality. Another very significant project that we are just launching, and after this conference I'm going to go together with the Minister of Environment to launch, that we open the call. It's to finish the water supply in Fushkosova. It's only 4-5 kilometers far from the capital, but for more than 20 years, the communities in areas in 28 and 29 didn't have drinkable water. And together with the support of the Minister of Environment, we are investing a project of 3 million euro. For sure, we are combining also with 2 Albanian villages that are connected with those 2 areas. So.
Thank you. The coordination is just perfect. This choreography, I think Minister Damkar is ready to be choreographed now. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Elizabeth, dear Prime Minister, ministers, dear ambassadors, I will be continuing my speech in my mother tongue, in my Turkish language, to be accordingly for the minutes. Our speech will be in English, I think, before. Thank you. Sayın Başbakan, bakanlar, büyükelçiler ve saygıdeğer katılımcılar. Kosova'da yaşayan topluluklar her alanda entegre olma konusunda gayret göstererek kurumlarda yerlerini almaya çalışmaktadır. Yasal haklar konusunda Kosova gerçekten Avrupa'da, belki de dünyada nadir görebileceğimiz bir anayasaya sahiptir. Tabii uygulamada bazı sıkıntılar da yaşadığımız ortadadır. Kanunen sağlanan en az %10 kamuda istihdam konusu maalesef tamamıyla yerine getiremediğimizi de belirtmek isterim. Bu hususta en büyük engel ise başvuruların milli kimlik konusunda beyana dayalı olmasıdır. Maalesef toplulukların yerlerine beyana dayalı olarak herkes kendini Türk, Boşnak, Rom veya başka bir topluluktan göstermesi mümkündür. Bu konuda yerlerimizin korunması için topluluklarla birebir çalışan kurumlarda toplulukları kurumsal bir yapıya kavuşturmamız şarttır. Başbakanlık Topluluk Ofisi'nde her topluluğun haklarını gözetecek, çalışacak topluluk çalışanı olması gerekiyor. Takdir edersiniz ki Başbakanlık Topluluk Ofisi planlaması da göz önünde bulundurarak bunu gerçekleştirecektir. Sorumlu danışman Elizabeth Hanım bu ofiste çok iyi çalışmalar yaptığını, çok iyi başarılar elde ettiğini görebiliyoruz. Kendisinin bu konuda uluslararası toplumdan, büyükelçilerden bu topluluğun daha fazla desteklenmesi gerekmektedir.